some long answers.
Oh, for sure. I've had people already talking about an hour about this.
Oh, I ain't gonna talk that long.
Well, because the question, the main question is, I mean, there's been a whole lot of talk about change, right?
Yeah.
A lot. And I'm really curious. You know, people often use a word like that, and everybody nods their head like they're saying the same thing. But they aren't necessarily saying the same thing. So I'm curious what Americans mean when they say that. So when you say change, what do you mean?
Change. Just in reverse, starting at the top, is a change from, the Bush administration. I think that's what the biggest change anybody is looking at. Change overall, it's going to be different for everybody. But, when they say change, it's got to be better than what it is. Anything, any kind of change, it's got to be better than what we've had the past 8 years. From today's market, we're going down, down, and down. So, anyone that can step up and can show interest in doing something better, that's the change I think people are really looking for. But you can go deeper than that, and like I say, it will vary from person to person as to what changes they're going to make. Now, I don't know, might be hanging myself here, but change, you can look at it. Blacks are now top dog.
What a
blacks,
change.
Yeah, blacks think it's going to be really different, but the government is still ran by,
there you go.
So I wouldn't expect too much of a change. I wouldn't expect blacks to expect too much of a change. But simple fact that, government, to have women running for president, that's already a change. A black person running for president, that was a change, and won. So the change has already started. Now it depends on what we intend to do about it, or do with it, I should say. Not so much, And like I say, it's going to be different for everyone. The change that they see, anything that's done good and everybody will receive something from it, not monetarily like money or anything like that, but a change in their life. They got a job, they got a pay raise, they don't have to sweat about getting, losing their job, stuff like that. Is a change. So that word is very broad. And so be ready to, hear some really bizarre changes and different changes for everybody's life and everything. So that's my understanding of change.
Well, one of the things that's implied by change is that something stays the same. So what sorts of things would you like to see stay the same, or I guess that's the question. What ought to stay the same?
Now you're talking politics, and I'm not really a politician. I live my world is small. I work, I provide, and I sleep very little, but
well, but in your life, that's what I mean. What stays? When you look at your life, what is important to you to have constant?
Just waking up every day. That's the only thing, that's going to remain the same. Mostly will remain the same. I'm sure there's going to be other changes that, you don't really pay a lot of attention to, all the little things that happens that, add up in the long run and everything. So I'm not looking for anything drastic to change. Just stability is basically, alleviating the fear. What's going to happen next? How bad is it really going to get? So, find that even keel is, I don't want much. I don't ask for much. Just to survive. Wake up the next day.
Yeah, to wake up the next day.
So that's basically it for me. Again, you get into politics, you know, people that's actively involved in the government and, know all the ins and outs and where things need to change and have changed or won't change. You know, if you're that involved in the goings-on around you, then, you will probably see those things or not see them. And say that there hasn't been any change. The government's still running the same way it always has, and for me, the changes are going to be mild. There'll be changes and I'll never know they even happened. So.
Well, what can you imagine that you would see that for you would kind of reassure you that change is happening? That it wasn't just a lot of talk, you know what I mean?
Well, if we're talking about President Obama, then he's already made a change, and they have already publicized it. He's listening to people. Bush didn't want to listen to anybody but himself. He demonstrated that in his body language, just on TV interviews. I'm the sheriff. It goes the way I want to go, and I don't want to hear any other thing. Just like I want to go so far to say the Iraqi war. He was bound and determined to go there, come hell or high water. So there we go. Like President Obama, he's listening to foreign people. You can't just see what's right for America, what's right for everybody. If you're going to be stepping on their toes, why not find out, how can you avoid stepping on their toes and be allied? What do we have to gain from what we get and everything? So it just goes from there. So, like I say, the changes have already started. You can see the changes that he has made. Asking for so much money at one time, right off the bat. I don't know if there's a quick fix for the mess we're in. But some people can look at it. Hey, if we can pay for a war, why can't we pay to rebuild ourselves? You come up with this money to facilitate this war, then why can't we, stop the war and use that money in a positive way and everything? So I'm sure he's already taken steps to do that. Common sense should tell the American people, you can't just go over there and we got a new president, have those guys home in 6 months. That would not be fair to the Iraqi people and Afghanistan. I don't think they take them out of Afghanistan, but Iraqi people. We go in there, we disrupt their way of life, and then just leave them.
Yeah.
That's not right. You don't do that. So I think he stated 16 months. 16 months is more than enough time for them to know, hey, we got 16 months to get our act together. So, we think we did them a favor and everything, but, I think it was a big mistake. I view things different than a lot of people, but, if they had left Saddam Hussein in charge, even though he had his way of flexing his muscles, saying that you're not just going to push me around, but they were pushing him around. But he was in control. He just, all this killing and stuff wasn't there when he was going on. So, but you cut the head off. Now everybody else want to be in charge. So here we go, civil war. Who's going to end up in charge when the Americans finally do leave and everything? They could be worse, they could be better. But whoever's in charge is gonna be the better off for himself. Not so much for the country, but it's gonna be the same as Saddam Hussein was